Mourn with those who mourn. Okay, I mean, that is instruction. But the fulfillment of this instruction by Ghana's POTUS has incurred the wrath of many Ghanaians blessed with the gift of gap and internet bundle data. They say you can't be seen shedding digital tears, crocodile or elephant, for your former master's friend over a bent roof, while your own daughter passes away while in service, together with her husband, who is also in service, and their little baby, without you declaring a state of national mourning or even a minute silence, the ritual, the usual things we do. Especially when the tragic death of these children of yours speaks to the leadership of you and your ilk over the years. And did they win? Welcome to BackPage, your new satirical show on Citi TV. My name is Caleb Kudah. This weekend, I know some stories kept you tossing in bed at night. Me too. Others got you angry. Me too. Some made you hopeful. Me too. Others left you puzzled like boy oh boy. Me too. So then, grab a seat. Let's get talking. Let's start from the Facebook page of His Excellency, the President of the Ghanaian people, Nanatre Akufo-Addo. Remember the President? He received much acclaim for his bold speech on the ability of African leaders to transform Africa when the French President, Emmanuel Macron, visited Ghana some time ago. Remember also the President has this strong affinity for cathedral or anything cathedral. Well, he wrote, or to be safe, the handle of the President on Facebook has this. He wrote this. The Ghanaian people, I'm finding for you. I'm finding for you in a second. What's it? He says, the Ghanaian people and I are shocked by the news of the destruction of the great Parisian cathedral, Notre Dame, one of the most iconic buildings of world civilization, and extend our heartfelt condolences to the French President, Emmanuel Macron, and to the French people on their great loss. I shouldn't be smiling, he was serious. Our thoughts are with them, and we are hopeful and prayerful that efforts to save what is left of this historic cathedral will be successful. Now, the responses to the President are savage. I mean, experts suspect most of them are from affected men's gold customers, in that they channeled all their pains from their lost investments into reacting to the President's post. The things people wrote, it resembles your eyes, just as Saglemi. But really, these are angry Ghanaians who do not feel valued by their own leaders. The crux of the 1.1 thousand responses, 3.7 thousand reactions, and 294 shares of that post is that Nshushenim is not good. Dozens of Ghanaians, including a military couple and a baby, drowned by a flood to their deaths. The body of the child, we are told, has not been seen yet. But at such a crucial moment, the President of the Ghanaian people seemed to have forgotten about the Ghanaian people who practically begged to be employed by them as their chief servant. Many said the President was only speaking on his own behalf and that he should say so. I don't know how you will call this particular one, but I could show you where, I could tell you where the whole incident happened. If you use the motorway, not too far from the Ajekojo underpass, yeah, good. So there's a huge bridge, there's metallic, and because the volumes of the rains were heavy, it flooded and spilled onto the road. Now, this pickup that was coming with the military men, about a number of people in the bed, others in the bucket. the cabin and the bucket. They were carried away by the car when they got there because the flood waters had flooded onto the motorway, and they couldn't find which was the road. There was a metallic rail there. It just hit it, skid off, got into the gutter, and the rain just took everybody away. So people are saying, is it that the president didn't see or hear this at all? That is the question that many are asking over there. Or is it that the people in the Flagstaff House are so many that the president got distracted? But how come he saw the Notre Dame one? Was it because there is cat and tea and dry in there? Anyway, that's the thing. People are asking questions. Some are asking, is it a case of I don't come out my eyes? Because I see many like this one, Bafira. Well, the good thing is the era of dead goatism seems banished forever. The furor of the people drew out of the president his digital sympathies, but not without lessons on cleanliness. Yes, some excerpts I want to give you. He said, the president says, the news of the death of 12 persons in the recent flooding that hit our nation's capital is very sad. My sincere condolences to the families of the deceased. And then it goes on to say, beyond addressing issues of infrastructure, our attitudes towards sanitation have to change as well in order to help tackle the problems of the perennial flooding in Accra. That's the end of his quote. We'll get back to the president's quote. I mean, think about it, that the furor of the people get the president coming to write commiserating with the families of the deceased. And he adds sincere to it. I mean, what is the meaning of sincere? You know, if we had to compel you to come say, how does that become sincere? But the part of the president's statement is almost captured verbatim in a statement of the sanitation minister, who spared no opportunity to lecture us on flooding.
The government of Ghana, I am boldly saying, it's on record, that money as much as 197 million cedis has been allocated, and the contracts have been given out by the Ministry of Works and Housing. We just had a meeting last Friday. They are going to add and drill down to the silting of our gutters. So when this is done, or when this is being done, we don't expect anybody, and I mean anybody, to drop anything in our gutters. I think we are all fed up with people pouring their household garbage and rubbish into drains and gutters. If you are caught, jail will be your lot.
Let me say, these times, times like these, I don't envy our leaders at all. Everybody is bashing them. The rains are here, the roads are bad, people are dying, and everybody is bashing them. But maybe they don't deserve anyone's sympathy. They had all the time to lead Ghanaians through enforcement and advocacy into ensuring that we had, or we will have, a flood-free, death-free rainy season. You are not too sure if the 197 million cities the minister and the president talked about to dredge and desilt your door and other gutters only came after these deaths. I mean, if we had all the money, why didn't we dredge a long time ago? And that amount of money, is it a loan? How much interest are we paying on it? What is the source of that money? I mean, it sounds like it's not a good question to be asking around this time, because the most important thing is we have to dredge those places. But why did it take us too long? So long. I mean, that aside, we hear the president and the sanitation minister when they talk about attitudinal change. Okay, I think you remember about 4 weeks ago on this show, we talked about how the coming of the rains required leadership, drastic and sustainable measures to ensure this season is death-free as much as possible. The first time it rained, 3 people died. We heard nothing except for NADMO's updates of death tolls and the lamentation of little resources to adequately manage without preventing disaster. Now, it's been 2 years now, right, since we heard a promise of making Accra the cleaner city in Africa. It's been only talk without a clear plan. that whips citizens in line and that whets their appetite to make it a reality. There has not been leadership in as far as sanitation is concerned. But for the first time perhaps in our history, we've had a proper ministry, so to speak, just for sanitation. What is the plan? What is the campaign? We don't hear anything. Well, the rains worsen already impassable roads, okay? Abokobi Pantan people, they are sovereign, they are sovereign. They say they are crying over ponds on their roads. And as for the people of Ashama, they said they have had enough and they are promising a showdown.
All right, so if your demonstration does not heed any immediate attention, then what?
It will, because Ashama demonstration is going to be a massive demonstration. The road users are many, the transport owners will join, and we have many union groups who will be joining us, and the demonstration is going to be well-organized one. And when we say we are organizing a demonstration in Ashama, I can assure you it's going to be massive.
Are you threatening us?
No, we are not threatening us. We are just advising ourselves.
In Ashalibotre, equally, their roads are super bad. And this testimony of a woman, her experience, it really got to me.
Last year, I got pregnant and I had miscarriage because of the road. Because it bumps, I don't know if it's a pothole or a manhole. So the moment the car bumps into the manhole, your waistline. And so I had miscarriage out of this bad road.
Because he said manhole and waistline, boys are excited. What kind of life is this? What kind of people are you? Government go tire, mom. Honestly, I must be honest. Not only Ghanaians are upset, anyway, let me tell you all. Brits are equally upset. Papa, they say, why did bells in Westminster Abbey chime for Notre Dame when none, was for the 72 who died after the huge fire engulfed Grenfell Tower, a West London residential tower, block. It's a tower block in West London. Anyway, Macron says Notre Dame will be rebuilt in 5 years, but some experts say it will take 25 years to do so. In Ghana, when the president says it will take 2 years, professionals cannot come out and challenge. It's hardly done. Few can do that. But the beauty of their rhetoric, though, is the fact that it doesn't have the overt begging of our leaders. It's so easy. Once there's a disaster, begging. But money is good, Mom. Money there is good. I don't know if I'm the only one who stopped following the donations that were trickling in. I was like, hey, I just $1 million, keke. And Easter Orphan Project. I can be there, and besides that, my life would have changed, Stop picking trotting things. But look, poverty is not a virtue. I keep saying that. Poverty is not a virtue. And if really there are people that rich in this world, and I'm sure there are some in Ghana like that, you all can help end the world's problems. I know you can. Try. Now, so more than 850 years ago, the French built the Notre Dame. That has so enthralled our president so much such that he mourned over the destruction of part of it without any casualty. Human beings, none. Then you would hope that a government he leads will invest as much passion into providing shelter for his fellow countrymen as now more than 2 million Ghanaians are said to be without roof over their heads nor doors behind which they can be vulnerable in dignity. See this.
You don't stop the project, waiting for how many years to complete your investigation, which has not, I don't think it has even started, and for all these completed houses to go waste. Our point is that if there are no justification, if you have any problem, the court is there. Send the people who you think are culpable to court. You have not done that, and the houses are lying fallow here. People are not living in. Government has spent so much money to guarantee the loan from the Swiss bank, and we have put up at least some housing unit. Let people occupy, let people buy it, so that we can roll out the rest whilst you are looking into the books of whatever you think has been done.
So that thing, is it done or are they done?
Approved by Parliament in October 2012 at the cost of $200 million, the Saglemi housing project near Chopoli in the Greater Accra region is to deliver 1,412 housing units in its first phase with a mix of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom units and townhouses. The project has stalled since 2017 due to a government decision to review the contracts surrounding the project.
Apparently, there are more housing units that are going waste. Wa, Tamale, Kumasi, Koforidua, Pong, and others. And you see, the journalist didn't want to leave the place, considering many things. He had a wish. Can you guess?
This is the sink of the kitchenette in one of the single-room apartments here at the Saglemi housing project. This is also the bedroom, actually, in this apartment. And then over here, you have the washroom facility. This is one of the several apartments that sort of have been abandoned. In fact, this is, we are told by the engineers, is almost complete and ready for occupation.
I mean, you could clearly tell the young man wanted to stay. Like, so what is the excuse of the government? My Lord, Lawyer Atachia is the sector minister.
The contract sum was 200 million United States dollars, and they were supposed to do 5,000 housing units. They have spent more than 90% of the money, and what is on the ground is about 631 housing units. As at our inspection at the last quarter, the amenities you require for you to live in a good place are not in place. So they don't have the internal water arrangements, there's no electricity, internal arrangements, there's no sewage. I want to stress that in the neighborhood that they've constructed. We realized that there was serious short change in terms of the contract sum and the deliveries of the housing unit. And we believe that there are challenges of value for money analysis. So we've made a referral to the Attorney General for the Attorney General to advise us, because we intend terminating the contract and taking over the project for completion. And when we see any malfeasance, we will address it in accordance with law.
Charlie, the way young boys and girls are having issues with landlords and agents trying to find decent places to live, and so you picture this. You order 5,000 plates of food for your wedding reception. You give the caterer 90% of the budget because you have so much money. So give the person 90%. You tell the caterer to deliver over 1,000, by midday. Well, it's 1 p.m. and the person delivers about 600 plates of food. But your sister-in-law, who knows book past the whole family, comes and says, the food is not nice. So even though your guests, some of whom are very elderly people who have traveled from God knows where, are famished to the point of collapsing, your book-long sister-in-law insists on keeping the food in a corner somewhere so she can find a new caterer to provide the rest of the food. Now, after declaring that the food provided is not tasty, it's not nutritious, it's shambolic, she says when the new caterer is done, then they will see if the meal of the old caterer is nice or not. That is when they will deal with it according to law. Because it's been 2 years since my Lord Atachia kept saying that it's not value for money and that they will deal with it according to law. Who is the new contractor they are giving this contract to? We've not seen that person. These facilities we are told are done. He says the sanitation and some other facilities are not ready. The journalists went there. They showed us the reality that some of them are done. Can young men start using this place already? Tell ya, bro. And I can imagine just how much you will love this, your sister-in-law. I mean, for me, I love the sense of urgency in the voice of the minister. I really do. You know, having been at the job in the last 2 years with a housing deficit rising beyond 2 million units, if you take a walk around and you see for yourself the places many Ghanaians, young people, elderly people sleep, where they sleep and call home, not even the pets like dogs and cats of these ministers who sleep there, but Notre Dame. Anyway, how much have we raised for our Notre Dame? Our Notre Dame, we have to change the name. I have to make it Nanatre or Notre Dame. What do you think? That word, Cathedral, it gives out, it gives our gentleman, our first gentleman, a lot of this. And it looks like we have to get it done, or he won't mind us any longer. Like, if anything comes, he will jump at it and say, oh, Notre Dame, Cathedral, Notre Dame. And people will, and then we'll not hear from them. But still, on the Saglemi thing, it almost gave me some heart attack. Just watching the Saglemi thing, it was almost a near-death experience. I tell you, because boys are suffering. At this point, if you don't go for a break, so I get some water to drink, it won't be good.
Weekday at 8 p.m. Citi Newsroom brings you analysis of the major news stories of the day. In-depth, comprehensive, and researched. It's 1 hour of local and international news from 8 to 9 p.m. It's the Citi Newsroom. Weekdays on Citi TV.
Welcome back. This is BackPage, your new satirical show on Citi TV. My name is Caleb Kudah. I read a heartwarming story headlined, Ghana is the future. Ghana is the future of Africa. Why Google built an AI lab in Accra. Yes, that's what you're seeing on the screen now. Jeff Dean is the Google AI and Google Brain team lead. He was asked why Ghana, and let me share portions of his response with you. He says, when I decided to move away from Nigeria to Ghana almost a decade ago, most people could not understand why, because they had not visited Ghana. I did, and I fell in love literally. I married a Fanti woman. I had already fallen for the country before I met my wife because the place was different. Bra Jeff and Kasapi. We know what Fanti women can do. You don't need to explain. They are priceless. Now, it goes on to say it didn't have the hardcore market edge of places like Nigeria and South Africa, but it was a place where I could live and work. Ghana has relatively stable electricity. PDS would prove this right or not. Relative security, and then decent internet infrastructure. I don't know which one you use, but if it is mine, yeah, it's decent. It also has some of the best tourist destinations in the developing world. Yes, you should have gone to Agoti Mekpetoe to eat Toto Papa in Wanapa. If this doesn't warm your heart as a Ghanaian, I don't know what will. Point is, we have issues. We are not where we know we should be, but somebody in Niger in particular get we do. Ironically, in the same week I read this, students of perhaps Ghana's only technology university, the technology from Kren Kren to Kran Kran University, have been demonstrating. What about? Shocking.
They are agitated over the fact that the school, being a technology institution, does not have a well-equipped lab and better Wi-Fi services.
What we are actually waiting for is we want to see what is going on in the school, because one, a whole technology school, we don't have a lab. Blocks are not even working properly. Our internet are also not working properly. Now, we've been here for a whole 2 years. We have not have a single, practicals on what we are doing.
True. Is that a reality? Anyway, some of the students were sacked from the examination hall because they owed 20 pesos, they're about 2 cedis.
This is the issue why students are being sacked from the exams hall because of 20 pesos, 30 pesos, 2 cedis. I was in the hall. I've been able to pay my dough, but my friends there, I was feeling pity for them. I was standing in front because of 1 cedi. Students are not being allowed to write their exams.
Poverty is not a virtue, man. And issues are plenty. But I mean, if you know you owe 20 pesos and 2 cedis and you think it's not so much, why don't you just pay? I mean, I understand how difficult things can be, but sometimes too, when you think about it. Well, at the Plush, Movenpick Ambassador Hotel, the Ghanaian staff have cried of discrimination. They say they don't have the right to steal the same things their expert colleagues steal, and they are writing a letter from Birmingham Movenpick jail.
If the words of Immanuel Kant, a foremost German philosopher, who says, in fact, he proposed what we call the cosmopolitan right of humanity by affirming that by the violation of the right of any man, the right of every man is violated. Perhaps Martin Luther King Jr. might have resonated this sentiment when he opined that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we dare say that this is an injustice and we'll fight it to its latter.
Thank you. I have a dream. My 4 little children will... Hey, boy, Martin Luther King, it was good you came around. You get what I mean? I have a dream. Honestly, to be honest, let's forget about the stealing conversation, because what really happened is that the people are complaining, the Ghanaians are complaining. When they steal Milo, Richoko, Lipton and things like that, then they will punish them, sometimes suspend them. But when their white colleagues steal gold bars, it's alleged, then they are allowed to feel free. If you take the stealing thing aside, I know a couple of people who work in these big hotels, Ghanaians, who work their lives away, who are maltreated, who are treated, you know, without dignity, and they are paid pittance. Well, because they are not so skilled, they are semi-skilled, and then in our own country, guys, I don't know, but we really have got to do something, because in the West of Yama, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Martin Luther King, Junior. It was good you came. Thank you very much. There. Now, how far will you go to look like your star or your idol? How far will you go?
In this community, nothing is spared as long as it serves the purpose. Bleaching, from various mixtures to even washing detergents. This young man wouldn't give me his name. Originally dark in complexion, he started bleaching 6 years ago using cosmetics recommended by his friends. He did not get the results he wanted. So now at age 19, he has moved a step further using this to bleach his skin.
Oh my God! And you use Parazo bleach, eh? Why? Why don't you? You know, black is beautiful. You are lucky to have black skin if you have one. Cherish it, my dear friend. My name is Caleb. I'm black and proud. This is BackPage. I'll see you same time next week.